Welcome to the We Got Notes podcast, hosted by your cinema connoisseurs. That includes myself, Shawn, that's Shawn Edwards, and my girl, Fahnia Thomas. Now, check this out. This is the only spot with two certified film critics in the building, offering uninhibited and jocular chats about film and television.
Hey, that's right, Shawn. Each month, we'll bring you stories from sets, tales from behind the scenes, and movie reviews, plus some TV thoughts from the latest releases. Because we got notes. So chill out, grab a snack, and vibe with us. And if you got notes, let us know. Drop them in the comments. We might read some. Welcome back. We have episode 5 today. We're going to be talking about Nickel Boys, which releases on December 13th. I'm going to read y'all a little log line so that way y'all have some background information on what it is we're talking about, just in case you haven't watched the trailer. It's out there. Watch the trailer. Log line. Based on the
trailer don't help. The trailer don't help. You need to read this very slowly so people can digest it. You got to set this one up.
Yeah, we gotta set it up. We gotta
set it up.
I'm gonna read you both. How about that?
You might have to.
Line. It's based on the Pulitzer Prize winning novel by Colson Whitehead. Nickel Boys chronicles the powerful friendship between two young Black teenagers navigating the harrowing trials of reform school together in Florida. Now, the short synopsis. A bright, striving Black teenager navigating the terrors of Jim Crow South makes a split decision that recasts the course of his life. On the cusp of college, he's instead sentenced to a time at a notorious reformatory. There, he encounters a kindred spirit, forming an alliance, but one with incalculable consequences. Dun, dun, dun.
Basically, this movie is about every other Black boy that lives in America.
Ooh, say more.
Because Black males in America, your whole life is predicated to the decisions you make in life. And one wrong decision can lead you on a pathway of destruction in a split second. And that's what this movie is about. And after you watch, you're like, oh yeah, this could have went either way, but it all happened in an instant. And that's what most Black males who grow up living in America deal with. It's split-second decisions that determine how you live the course of your life every day, every single day. Like, we've watched movies year after year that deal with that. That's the thread of Boys in the Hood. That's the thread of Menace to Society. That's the thread of Paid in Full. That's the thread in a lot of these stories. That's the thread in Malcolm X. That's the thread in Selma. That's the thread in everything. It's, being Black in America, and particularly a male, is about a split-second incident that can change the course of your life. And that's what this movie's about, except this movie's way artsy.
Yes. Okay.
But you should expect that because it's directed by Ramel Ross. And Ramel Ross, as a director, has already done things in his short career that has really made him stand out artistically as a filmmaker. Starting with his documentary, Hell County, This Morning, This Evening, which is super brilliant, super dope, deals with Black folks in the South, and really gives you a glimpse of his cinematic style, which he carries through with Nickel Boys. But Nickel Boys is jarring from the very beginning because when I initially screened it, I literally turned around in my seat and started yelling at the projectionist because I thought that there was a mistake because it's the ratio that he chooses to shoot it in and the POV that he decides to go with for the entire film is so dramatically different from anything else that we've ever watched that it takes a while to settle in.
It took maybe 15, 20 minutes while the film was on where I was like, okay, my little, on-set elementary vertigo, this is what we're doing. It's shot from the first person perspective. And since we're so used to seeing films in a different perspective, it takes a minute. And this film took me a minute. My notes, legit, my notes were
No, no, legit. This one, yes, legit. Like I immediately was like, oh, okay.
it is this is like you mentioned earlier, this is for the very high artistic. I feel like this film would be screened at like the Guggenheim or like the Met,
Yeah. And
or
that's not a
down in Art
disrespect. That's not a
Basel.
diss. Right.
Yes, this is for the high functioning artistic type, which I might not be the demographic for, but that's okay. The message is there. How it's visually shot, it lost me for a moment. I'm not going to lie. My eyes may have closed for a little bit because I was like, I can't keep up. My brain was scrambling. And that has nothing to do with the director, writer, and the actors. It's just me.
Yeah, but what he did though, it's all beautiful. And like, he started his career as a photographer. You can totally see that. Like he reminds me a lot. His shot and his style remind me a lot of like Gordon Parks. Like the way he frames everything. And the fact that this story takes place during the 60s. So there's this lineage, this direct line to Gordon Parks. So I mean, every shot is beautiful. Every shot is perfectly framed, and every shot helps move the story forward. It's just so dramatically different from anything that you've ever seen that for some they may never settle in, and for others it may take a while. With that said, this is such an important story because I love the fact that it deals with these two young black men that are on these two different paths in their life,
Yeah.
but are brought together because of this unfortunate circumstance at this reform school that it's just, all bad news. Like it's not designed to reform, it's actually designed to destroy the lives of these black men even further. And it's sort of like this indictment on the penal system. It's this indictment on how young black men are treated and never really propped up and used as tools for labor and the other unmentionable things that happen when it comes to beatings and rape and that sort of thing that happens at this school. But it's definitely this sort of like horrific examination of how black men are disposable, through all these beautiful images that are being told, and then in the middle of it, we have and I'm going with this title, the great Aunjanue Ellis, who in the latter part of her career has been on a unprecedented run. I mean, her 2024 alone has just been, fabulous. I mean, she's been in 4 or 5 movies this year, and every single performance she's delivered has been stellar. Even the work she did in Lee Daniels' Deliverance, like she helped to ground that film. And then the Supremes movie that she was in earlier with Sanaa Lathan and others was just she's just been on this remarkable run. And then she's in Exhibiting Forgiveness, just solid performance after solid performance. But this one, The Nickel Boys, is the best, where she is the mother of the character played by Ethan Herisse, who is off to go to college and needs a ride to get to school, and unfortunately hitches a ride with a black man who's stolen a car, which is the situation that lands him in the reform school. And her portrayal is just it's heartbroken because it's just so heartbreaking because you can see the pain and the anguish in every scene. She definitely channeling some Cicely Tyson. She definitely like bringing those vibes on the screen, and it's just one of those performances where it just hits you with like how great it is, and you only hope that the Academy and other organizations, notice it and award her with something because it's such a substantial role, and she does it she's so deserving of everything with this role. Like it's just, and then the two young leads are great as well. It's just one of those stories that it sticks with you, and it really moves you. And then when you find out that it's based on a true story, it's just a bigger gut punch.
There's a lot of elements enveloped in this film. Going back to what you said with Miss Aunjanue, who was nominated for King Richard, right? For Best
She was the best part
Actress.
of that movie. She was the best part of that movie.
She was.
She
Now, it's
was.
her time. She's got over 2 decades of experience, and she does deliver in this film. As artsy as it is, her performance still shines through. It's definitely her time.
I hope they see the entire film. Like it's one of the best. It's one of the best films of the year. I like it because Ramel Ross, the director, takes chances. He delivers. It's unlike anything you've ever seen. He deserves some kudos for directing. The film deserves a Best Picture nom. The young leads are solid, and this is one of those stories that needed to be told and should have been told, and is told so very well because it never sells out. And the way it unfolds, it's like, oh wow. It's jaw dropping when you're watching because you don't know where it's going. And then when you find out where it's going, it's just your head is spinning. And it's just like, you know, the first thing that popped in my head was the Childish Gambino song. This is America. This is what it is.
This is still America in current
Yes.
day. This is a story that needs to be told. You know, I think the script was well written. I feel
Yeah.
like rhythmically, it kind of resonates with what's happening in current time. And I didn't know about this. I didn't know
Mm-mm.
this was happening. I didn't
Mm-mm.
know that this school was doing this to these children down in Florida. So I wasn't taught about this in my history
No.
classes.
Nope.
The acting was top tier. You mentioned that, and you can feel the emotions through the characters.
You can't sit here in front. It is not an easy movie to watch.
No,
It's
not
not.
at
This
all.
is you're
We're
not
not
watching.
saying that.
Yeah, you're not watching it to be entertained. It's not one of those, but it's important and it's well done. And I will admit there may be some people who will not make it through.
No, there won't.
For sure.
I almost didn't make it through. Like full transparency. I said my eyes closed a little bit. But if you're an auditorial learner and you receive information that way, this film is for you because you can hear what's going on. You can see visually what's going on through like the facial emotions and the connections and the full body. But if you are accustomed to a certain style, which we see more often, no, the film is not going to resonate with you. Hopefully, the story does, because the theme is there. They talk about the only person who can save you is you when you're met with these unfortunate circumstances, which a lot of African American males have had to pull their bootstraps up and survive in this day and become successful people in America even though they have been faced with challenges. That's theme is there. Now, if you can stick with it and hang in there and have a Red Bull before you watch the film, you'll be all right.
Yeah, but it's one of my favorite movies of the year. I do feel that it's one of the best of the year as well because those are two different things. Like my favorites are one thing, technically what's the best is a different thing, and this is top tier with both of those. Easily one of the favorites of the year. Easily. Because it's what filmmaking should be about. Easily. Easily.
Okay, so
Easily.
then with that, how many claps are you giving Nickel Boys?
It's gonna be the rare film in 2024 to get five. It's 5 out of 5. It's five. It's a 5 out of 5 film. It's a movie that you should be seeing now and will be studied years from now.
Hey, okay,
Yeah,
five
it is.
claps.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going 5. It's strong.
I'm gonna give Nickel Boys 3 claps. It's very poetic. It's highly artistic.
3 strong. I'm glad they didn't do a lifetime version of this.
Nickel Boys is so elevated artistically, it's gonna
Yeah.
get lost.
Well, hopefully not. But like I said, it isn't for everyone. But it's a strong movie. Just pulling for that best picture nom.
Best supporting
It's,
actress
acting's great.
pulled
Yeah.
through. The acting was amazing. And for actors who have to shoot with cameras on their bodies,
Yeah, the way they did it was different, but yeah, Anjanue's on a run. She's on a run. She's on a run. Aunjanue is on a run. It's remarkable. All right, as you can see, we always got notes and we have lots of notes, but we appreciate y'all for chilling with us, sticking with us. And if you got notes, let us know and check back in next week for our notes on all, and I mean all the latest releases.
Don't forget to subscribe and like the We Got Notes podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you listen to podcasts.